The alert came just before dawn at the Quantum Detection Array in Antarctica. Sarah Chen, Chief of Deep Space Monitoring, had been reviewing routine sensor data when the quantum signatures appeared, 7 distinct vessels approaching the outer edges of the solar system. They were trying to stay hidden, using technology that would have been undetectable to most civilizations at Earth's apparent level of development. "Director Reynolds," she called, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "We have confirmation. Pattern matches the Arcturus protocol." James Reynolds walked to the holographic display, his weathered face illuminated by the quantum visualization matrix. After 30 years leading Earth's secret space defense program, the moment they had prepared for had finally arrived. "Time to arrival?" he asked, studying the alien vessel's approach vectors. 6 hours at their current velocity," Sarah replied, her augmented neural interface already running combat simulations. "They're using a modified Alcubierre drive. Exactly what our probes predicted from observing their previous invasions." Reynolds nodded, activating the facility's quantum-encrypted communication network. Across Earth, hidden installations began powering up. Facilities that officially didn't exist, running technology that humanity supposedly wouldn't develop for centuries. "Alert all Guardian sites," he ordered. "Initiate Symphony Protocol." Beneath the ice sheets of Antarctica, massive hangars hummed to life. In the Mariana Trench, quantum forges began producing advanced weaponry. Throughout the asteroid belt, automated defense platforms awakened from their decades-long dormancy. Earth had been playing a long game, and the pieces were finally moving into position. On the primary display, the alien vessels continued their approach, unaware they were already being tracked by systems far more advanced than they could imagine. Their stealth technology was impressive, by the standards of a civilization they believed to be barely spacefaring. "They're maintaining their previous invasion pattern," Sarah noted, highlighting tactical data, "just like they did with the Centauri colonies last year." Reynolds allowed himself a grim smile. For 50 years, humanity had watched as these aliens, the self-proclaimed hegemony, had systematically conquered or integrated every developing civilization they encountered. Each time, the pattern was the same: a show of overwhelming force, followed by offers of protection and guidance that amounted to thinly veiled subjugation. But Earth had seen it coming. When humans detected their first alien transmission 90 years ago, they had made a crucial decision. Instead of broadcasting their presence to the stars, they had listened, watched, learned. While officially appearing to struggle with basic spaceflight, Earth's hidden quantum technology had allowed them to observe countless alien civilizations and prepare. "Signal the Artemis base," Reynolds commanded. "Begin evacuation of all non-essential personnel from lunar facilities. Make it look good. We want them to think we're panicking." Sarah's fingers danced across the neural interface. Evacuation protocols initiated. Surface installations are powering down in a deliberately chaotic pattern. Our primitive monitoring stations are now detecting their approach, right on schedule. The plan they had refined over decades was unfolding perfectly. Let the hegemony think they had caught humanity unprepared. Let them believe their superior technology made victory inevitable. The truth would come as quite a shock. "What about the quantum shielding?" Reynolds asked, checking the status of Earth's most crucial defense. "Operating at full capacity, completely undetectable to their scanning technology," Sarah confirmed. "The deflection fields are redirecting all their active scans to show exactly what they expect to see: a primitive civilization with basic satellite technology and early fusion power." Reynolds watched as more data flowed across the quantum displays. The hegemony ships were deploying their standard scout drones, exactly as predicted. Earth's defensive AI systems were already feeding them carefully crafted misinformation, showing them what decades of psychological profiling had determined they would expect to see. "Send word to Admiral Hansen's fleet," he ordered. "Maintain position behind Jupiter's quantum shadow. No movement until my direct command." In the depths of space, humanity's true military power waited, Ships that combined reverse-engineered alien technology with human innovations no other species had conceived. Weapons developed specifically to counter hegemony defenses, and crews who had trained their entire lives for this moment, enhanced by neural interfaces and quantum computational augments that pushed the boundaries of human potential. "Sir," Sarah's voice carried an edge of excitement. "They're sending their first transmission. Right on schedule." The hegemony always began with the same diplomatic overture, a message of peace and friendship that hidden human observers had seen them deliver to a dozen doomed civilizations before. "Let's give them the welcome they're expecting," Reynolds said, initiating the next phase of humanity's long-prepared response. After all, we wouldn't want to spoil the surprise. As the alien transmission reached Earth's public communication networks, the planet's greatest deception entered its final phase. Humanity had spent nearly a century preparing for this moment, and the hegemony was about to learn a harsh lesson about underestimating their intended prey. The game was beginning, and this time, the hunters had no idea they were actually the hunted. Deep within the Valles Marineris on Mars, Commander Elena Rodriguez stood in Earth's most advanced military installation, a base that, officially, didn't exist. Through the quantum glass viewport, she watched as automated systems brought the facility's primary defense grid online. Rows of sleek fighters filled the massive underground hangar, each incorporating technology that humanity had spent decades perfecting in secret. "Status report on the hegemony fleet," she asked, turning to her second-in-command, Major David Chen. 7 capital ships maintaining position just beyond lunar orbit, David replied, his neural interface projecting tactical data directly into their shared consciousness. "They're broadcasting their greeting message on all frequencies now. Standard protocol for their first contact scenario." Elena allowed herself a small smile. The hegemony's message was everything their intelligence had predicted. Grand pronouncements about bringing humanity into a greater galactic community, carefully worded threats disguised as offers of protection, and subtle hints about the consequences of refusing their generous offer. "They still haven't detected any of our quantum installations?" she asked, though she already knew the answer. The quantum shielding technology that Earth had developed was beyond anything the hegemony had encountered in their centuries of conquest. "Negative," David confirmed. "Their scans show exactly what we want them to see, a handful of primitive research outposts and mining operations. The holographic camouflage is working perfectly." Through their neural link, Elena accessed the live feed from Earth's quantum observation network. The hegemony ships were impressive. Massive vessels bristling with weapons that could reduce a planet's surface to slag. But humanity had spent 90 years studying those weapons, developing countermeasures, and preparing surprises of their own. "Commander," a new voice called out. Dr. Maya Patel, head of quantum weapons development, approached with an urgency in her step. "We're detecting energy signatures from the hegemony fleet. They're charging their main weapons arrays." "Right on schedule," Elena noted. "They always do this during first contact. A show of force to intimidate the primitive species they're about to protect." She turned to the facility's main command center. "Signal all Guardian bases. Initiate Phase 2 of Symphony Protocol." Across the solar system, humanity's hidden strength stirred to life. In the asteroid belt, thousands of quantum-cloaked weapon platforms activated their targeting systems. Beneath the ice of Europa, fusion reactors powered up massive energy projectors. And in the quantum shadow of Saturn, Earth's true fleet waited, ships that combined the best of human innovation with carefully reverse-engineered alien technology. "They're launching their diplomatic shuttle," David reported. "Standard complement of 12 representatives, heavily armed despite their claims of peaceful intentions." Elena nodded, watching the small vessel detach from the hegemony flagship. "Have they selected the meeting location we suggested?" "Yes, Commander. They've accepted our proposal to meet at the lunar outpost. Their scans show it as a primitive but acceptable facility for first contact negotiations." What those scans didn't show was the quantum tech woven into every molecule of the outpost's structure, ready to neutralize any hostile action in microseconds. The hegemony thought they were walking into a simple meeting with representatives of a young species. In reality, they were stepping into the most sophisticated trap ever constructed. Dr. Patel, Elena turned to the quantum weapons expert. Are the neural disruptors in place? Maya's augmented eyes flickered with data as she checked the systems. All devices are operational and undetectable. The moment they enter the facility, we'll have complete access to their neural networks. Every piece of technology they bring, every weapon they try to conceal, we'll control it all. This was humanity's true advantage. While the hegemony had focused on developing bigger weapons and stronger shields, Earth had taken a different approach. They had created technology that worked on the quantum level, affecting the very fabric of reality in ways their would-be conquerors had never imagined. Commander, David's voice carried a note of anticipation. Director Reynolds is requesting quantum link communication. Elena activated the secure channel, and Reynolds' holographic form appeared before them. The hegemony's diplomatic team is preparing to dock, he reported. Remember, we need to maintain the deception until the last possible moment. Let them think they're dealing with a primitive species making its first stumbling steps into galactic society. Understood, Director, Elena confirmed. Our negotiation team is ready. Dr. Patel's quantum systems will give us complete access to their technology the moment they enter the facility. Reynolds nodded grimly. The hegemony has conquered 17 civilizations using this same approach. They think they're following a proven strategy. Instead, they're walking into a trap 9 decades in the making. As the alien shuttle approached the lunar outpost, Elena watched through the quantum observation network. The hegemony representatives would be recording everything, sending data back to their fleet about Earth's apparent technological level and military capabilities. Every bit of that data would be exactly what Earth wanted them to see. It's almost poetic, Maya observed, monitoring the quantum systems. They think they're about to subjugate another primitive species, but they're actually about to learn why humanity has been hiding its true capabilities for so long. Elena's neural interface flashed with updates as the final preparations were made. Across the solar system, humanity's hidden forces stood ready. The trap was set, the players were in position, and the greatest deception in human history was about to enter its final phase. Send word to Admiral Hansen, she ordered. The moment the hegemony delegation enters the lunar facility, begin moving the fleet into position. It's time to show our visitors why Earth has been playing such a long game. The diplomatic shuttle was minutes from docking. Soon, the hegemony would learn that they weren't dealing with just another primitive civilization to be conquered. They were about to face an enemy that had spent nearly a century preparing specifically for them. And humanity was done hiding. The lunar facility's meeting chamber was designed to impress and deceive. Its apparent crude construction and basic technology were carefully crafted illusions, masking quantum systems that could rewrite the laws of physics within its walls. Ambassador Michael Jong watched through augmented senses as the hegemony delegation entered, their superior smirks poorly concealed behind diplomatic masks. Welcome to Earth's first extraterrestrial diplomatic facility, he greeted them, playing the role of an overwhelmed but eager representative of a young species. We're honored by your presence. The hegemony's lead diplomat, a tall being with iridescent scales and multiple eyes, stepped forward. I am High Emissary Krell of the Hegemony Diplomatic Court. We bring greetings from the United Civilizations of the Galaxy. Through his neural interface, Michael monitored the quantum readings, every piece of technology the aliens had brought, their hidden weapons, their scanning devices, their communication systems, was already compromised by Dr. Patel's quantum infiltrators. Your message spoke of protection and guidance, Michael said, noting how the aliens positioned themselves strategically around the room. We're very interested in learning more about what the hegemony offers. Krell's skin shifted colors slightly. a sign of satisfaction that human synopsychologists had documented from years of covered observation. Your species shows remarkable potential. We've monitored your development and believe you're ready to join the galactic community. Under our protection, of course. Of course, Michael smiled, receiving real-time updates through his neural link. The hegemony fleet was repositioning, moving their weapons into optimal firing positions above Earth's major cities, exactly as predicted. However, Krull continued, his tone growing firmer, we must address certain concerns. Your military development, while primitive, shows concerning aggression. The hegemony would require certain adjustments to your society. Through quantum-encrypted channels, Michael received confirmation. Admiral Hansen's fleet had moved into position, completely undetected by the hegemony sensors. Earth's hidden weapon platforms were locked on every alien vessel. The trap was ready. Adjustments. Michael asked innocently, what kind of adjustments? Krell's secondary eyes narrowed. Another documented tell. Your nuclear weapons must be dismantled. Your military forces reduced. Hegemony peacekeepers would ensure compliance and guide your development along appropriate paths. And if we refuse? The alien diplomat's skin darkened, a sign of aggressive confidence. Look above your cities, Ambassador. Our ships carry weapons that could reduce your civilization to ash. The hegemony's offer of protection is generous. The alternative, he let the threat hang in the air. Michael stood, dropping all pretense of the nervous primitive. Interesting proposal, High Emissary. Now, let me share one of our own. With a neural command, he activated the chamber's quantum systems. The holographic disguise fell away, revealing the true nature of the facility. Walls of advanced technology hummed with power that made the aliens' weapons look primitive by comparison. What is this? Krull demanded, his skin paling to a sickly hue as his hidden weapons failed to respond to his commands. This, Michael said calmly, is humanity showing you what we really are. Those weapons you're trying to activate, we disabled them the moment you entered. The scans you've been sending to your fleet, we've been controlling what they show since you arrived in our solar system. Through the quantum network, he brought up displays showing the true extent of Earth's power. Hidden bases throughout the solar system, advanced chips emerging from quantum shadows, weapon platforms that could target every hegemony vessel simultaneously. Impossible, one of Krull's subordinates whispered. Your species was barely reaching your moon. No, Michael corrected. We let you think that, just like we let you think your stealth technology was undetectable. We've been watching your civilization for 90 years, studying every invasion, learning your tactics, and preparing our response. The aliens' composure cracked as more revelations appeared on the displays. Footage of their previous conquests, recorded by cloaked human probes. Technical specifications of their weapons, mapped down to the quantum level. Psychological profiles of their leaders, compiled through decades of observation. Your ships above our cities, Michael continued, are currently targeted by weapons you can't detect, controlled by AI systems you can't hack, and surrounded by fleets you never saw coming. But we're not like you, High Emissary. We don't conquer. We defend. The hegemony will never accept. Krull began, but Michael cut him off. The hegemony doesn't have a choice. Right now, quantum viruses are spreading through your fleet's networks. Your weapons are being locked down. Your engines are under our control. Look at your tactical displays. The aliens' neural interfaces showed them the truth. Their mighty fleet was already defeated, without a single shot being fired. Earth's hidden technology had outmaneuvered them so completely that resistance was impossible. How? Krull demanded, his diplomatic facade crumbling. How did you hide all of this? Michael smiled. We learned from history. Every time a more advanced civilization contacted a less developed one, it ended in subjugation or destruction. So when we detected your first transmissions, we made a choice. We would advance in secret, letting our potential conquerors see only what they expected to see. Through the quantum network, he received confirmation from Commander Rodriguez. Earth's fleet was fully deployed, ready to respond to any desperate last stands. "So here's humanity's counteroffer," Michael declared. "The hegemony will immediately cease all conquest operations against developing civilizations. You will withdraw your forces from occupied worlds, and you will submit to oversight from a new organization, one dedicated to protecting the rights of all species to develop without interference." "And if we refuse?" Krell asked, unconsciously echoing Michael's earlier question. "Then we demonstrate why humanity spent 90 years preparing for this moment. Your fleet would be disabled, your leadership would be removed, and your empire would learn why it's unwise to threaten a species that has spent nearly a century planning for exactly this confrontation." The chamber fell silent as the aliens realized the full extent of their situation. They had come to subjugate what they thought was a primitive civilization, only to find themselves caught in a trap generations in the making. "The choice is yours," Michael concluded. "But remember, humanity spent 90 years hiding our true capabilities. Imagine what else we might be hiding." Admiral Sarah Hansen stood on the bridge of the EDS Artemis, Earth's most advanced warship, watching as the hegemony fleet discovered just how completely they'd been outmaneuvered. Through quantum-enhanced sensors, she observed their desperate attempts to regain control of their systems, each effort countered before it could begin. "The hegemony flagship is attempting to activate their emergency quantum drive," reported Captain Lai Wei, her tactical officer. "Should we allow it?" "No," Sarah decided. "They're not going anywhere until this is resolved." With a thought through her neural interface, she activated one of humanity's most closely guarded weapons, the quantum field inhibitor. Space itself seemed to thicken around the alien vessels as their faster-than-light capabilities were completely neutralized. "Admiral," her communications officer called out, "we're receiving multiple distress calls from the hegemony fleet. They're requesting immediate reinforcements from their core worlds." Sarah smiled grimly. "Show them what's waiting in the outer system." The quantum holographic display expanded, revealing hundreds of Earth's stealth ships emerging from their hiding places throughout the solar system. Each vessel represented decades of reverse-engineered alien technology combined with human innovation, creating weapons and defenses that the hegemony had never imagined possible. "Message from Director Reynolds," Captain Lai announced. "The quantum virus has successfully infiltrated the hegemony's central command network. We now have access to their entire military communication system." This had been the true purpose of humanity's deception, not just to defend Earth, but to gain complete access to the hegemony's empire. While they focused on what they thought was a primitive civilization, humanity's quantum AI systems had been systematically compromising their entire network. "Deploy the drone swarms," Sarah ordered. "Let's show them exactly what they're dealing with." From the Earth ships, millions of quantum-enhanced microsatellites emerged, each smaller than a human hand, but carrying more computing power than the hegemony's largest vessels. They surrounded the alien fleet, creating an impenetrable web of surveillance and control. "Admiral," her sensor officer reported with a note of urgency, "the hegemony flagship is charging weapons. They appear to be attempting a last stand." "Predictable," Sarah noted. "Activate the shield inversions." When the hegemony ships fired, their energy weapons struck quantum shields that didn't just absorb the attacks, they reversed them, sending the energy back through the alien vessel's own systems. Across their fleet, weapons overloaded and shut down. Through the quantum network, Sarah received a direct communication from Ambassador Zhang on the lunar base. "The hegemony diplomats are beginning to understand their situation," he reported. "But their military commanders are still resistant. Then it's time for the final demonstration." Sarah decided. "Initiate Protocol Omega." Across the solar system, humanity's hidden installations revealed themselves. The massive shipyards of Ceres, capable of producing vessels that could outmatch anything in the hegemony fleet. The quantum forges of Mercury, harnessing the power of the sun itself. The defense platforms of Jupiter's moons, each armed with weapons that could reshape reality at the quantum level. "Send the signal to all hegemony vessels," she commanded. "Show them everything." The alien ship's computers were flooded with data, 90 years of human observation and preparation. They saw how Earth had monitored their conquests, analyzed their technologies, and developed countermeasures for every weapon and tactic in their arsenal. They watched recordings of their own fleet movements, made by cloaked human probes they had never detected. "High Commander Krell is requesting direct communication," Captain Lai reported. Sarah accepted the transmission, and the alien leader's holographic form appeared on her bridge. His scales had lost all color, a sign of total shock in his species. "You've been watching us," Krell said, his voice hollow. "All this time, every conquest, every negotiation. We saw it all," Sarah confirmed. "Every civilization you subjugated, every species you forced into servitude. We learned from their mistakes, and we prepared. Your quantum technology, it's impossible. No species could advance so far in secret." "Impossible." Sarah allowed herself a small smile. "We did it because we had to. Your hegemony taught us an important lesson. In space, the strong don't always announce themselves. Sometimes they wait, they watch, they prepare." Through her neural interface, Sarah received updates from Earth's quantum defense network. The alien fleet was completely contained, their weapons neutralized, their communications under human control. 90 years of preparation had paid off in less than a day. "You have a choice, High Commander," she continued. "You can accept Ambassador Zhang's terms: immediate cessation of all conquest operations, withdrawal from occupied worlds, and submission to oversight from a new Galactic Council. Or, Krell demanded. Sarah gestured, and the quantum holographics showed the alien leader exactly what humanity could do to his fleet, and to the hegemony itself. Earth's quantum weapons could disable their entire civilization's infrastructure in moments. Their carefully built empire of conquest would collapse before they could even understand what was happening. "Humanity spent nearly a century hiding our strength," she said quietly. "Don't force us to show you its full extent." As the hegemony fleet hung powerless in space, surrounded by weapons they couldn't comprehend and facing an enemy they had severely underestimated, the balance of power in the galaxy shifted. Earth had revealed itself not as another primitive civilization to be conquered, but as a force that had been quietly preparing to reshape the cosmic order. And this was only the beginning. 1 month after humanity's revelation to the galaxy, Director James Reynolds stood in Earth's new Galactic Assembly Chamber, watching representatives from 100 worlds gather for the first time. The massive room, built with advanced quantum architecture, could adapt its environment to accommodate any known species comfortably. It was a symbol of humanity's new approach: power tempered by wisdom, strength guided by compassion. "The hegemony delegation has arrived," Dr. Maya Patel reported, her quantum interfaces tracking every movement in the facility. "Their ships are following all protocols, and their weapons remain powered down." Reynolds nodded, observing the once mighty conquerors now moving cautiously through the chamber. Their demeanor had changed dramatically since Earth revealed its true capabilities. Gone was the arrogant superiority, replaced by a wary respect. "And the representatives from the liberated worlds?" he asked. "Already seated in the inner circle," Maya confirmed. "Many of them still can't believe how quickly everything changed. 1 month ago, they were subjects of the hegemony. Now they're equal members of the Galactic Assembly." Through his neural interface, Reynolds received updates from Earth's quantum network, now expanded throughout known space. The transition had been remarkably smooth. Humanity's careful planning had accounted for every contingency. When the hegemony's control systems were shut down, Earth's ships had been ready to maintain order and prevent chaos. Ambassador Zhang approached, accompanied by Commander Rodriguez. "The first session is ready to begin," Michael reported. "Are you prepared to address them?" Reynolds straightened his uniform. This moment would define humanity's relationship with the galaxy for generations to come. They had proven their strength. Now they needed to prove their wisdom. Members of the Galactic Assembly, his voice carried clearly through the quantum-enhanced acoustics. Welcome to Earth. For many of you, this is your first time seeing our world as it truly is, not as we pretended to be. The assembled aliens, former conquerors and former subjects alike, watched intently as holographic displays showed Earth's hidden achievements, quantum cities that existed in harmony with nature, advanced AI systems that worked alongside humans as partners, not tools, technologies that could reshape planets without destroying them. For 90 years, humanity kept our true nature hidden, Reynolds continued. We watched as the hegemony conquered world after world, claiming to bring civilization while actually bringing subjugation. We learned, we prepared, not just to defend ourselves, but to ensure this cycle of conquest would end. Former hegemony leaders shifted uncomfortably in their seats as footage played of their past actions. Worlds conquered, species enslaved, civilizations destroyed. But alongside these images came others. Human ships now protecting those same worlds, quantum technology being shared to rebuild damaged ecosystems, freed peoples taking their first steps as independent species again. But Earth's victory brings responsibility, Reynolds declared. We did not reveal ourselves merely to become new conquerors. Instead, we propose a new way forward. The Galactic Assembly will ensure that no species can dominate another. Every civilization will have the right to develop at its own pace, protected by laws that apply equally to all. Through the quantum network, Reynolds could sense the mix of emotions in the chamber: hope from the liberated worlds, resignation from the former hegemony leaders, and curiosity from all about humanity's true intentions. Some have asked why we don't simply take control as the hegemony did, he acknowledged. We certainly have the power. Our quantum technology could maintain dominion over every world in known space. But that was never our goal. He gestured, and the holographics showed Earth's new vision. Massive engineering projects to heal damaged worlds, educational exchanges between species, collaborative research that combined the knowledge of 100 civilizations. Instead, we offer partnership. Earth's quantum technology will be shared, not hoarded. Our defensive capabilities will protect all member worlds, not subjugate them. And our knowledge will be used to lift up every species, not hold them down. Dr. Patel stepped forward, activating displays that showed the first joint projects already underway. Former hegemony scientists working alongside their previous subjects, combining technologies in ways neither had imagined possible. Earth's quantum systems being adapted to solve problems that had plagued alien worlds for centuries. This is humanity's true strength, Reynolds concluded. Not our hidden fleets or our advanced technology, but our ability to learn from history's mistakes. We spent 90 years preparing not just for war, but for peace. Not just to resist conquest, but to create something better. The chamber erupted in approval, even many former hegemony representatives joining in. This was what set humans apart. They had gained ultimate power not to dominate, but to protect. They had developed incredible weapons not to destroy, but to prevent destruction. As the first session of the Galactic Assembly began, Reynolds received a final update through his neural interface. Earth's quantum network was detecting signals from deep space, other advanced civilizations, watching these events with interest. Humanity's revelation had changed more than just the local galaxy. It had shown that there was another way. Strength without domination. Power without conquest. Progress without destruction. The long deception was over. Humanity had emerged from its chrysalis, not as another empire-building species, but as something new. Guardians of a galaxy where every civilization had the chance to reach its full potential. They had spent 90 years preparing for war while hoping for peace. And peace, against all odds, had won.